All right, we're just going on a walk today. More practice with the GoPro. And I ain't running today because I'm in recovery mode from yesterday. But a little walk and a little more practice using the GoPro. Man. Good. Hey. All right, we're walking down Wild Turkey, street I live on. Yeah, headed out to Longwood, Hilly Longwood. Hilly Longwood's a little under 2 miles long, 1.8 I think, with 4 significant climbs. And when I mean significant climbs, I mean if you're over 6 years old and you're out of shape, those become significant. Yesterday, I ran 3 out of the 4 climbs. The 4th climb I didn't make. My goal is, hopefully in 2 weeks, is to run Longwood continuously. That's the plan. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful out here right now. A little over 70 degrees. No wind. 0 wind. It's late. I don't usually get out this late. It's about 5:30 p.m. 17:30. Busy day so far. I had to run my wife down for a procedure in Richmond, which is about 90 minutes away. Got back at about 3. My daughter got home from school. She worked at 4, so I had to get her to work. Feel like I've been in the car all day. So I'm just sneaking in a little, maybe 6,000 steps, 3 miles in. Yeah, and a little practice on the GoPro. We're on Longwood now. I'm not even calling this a hill, but this is the beginning of my route. And it is a slope. We won't call it a hill, but it's a slope upwards. Not fun to start out your run. Love it. Yeah. Once you get to the top of the slope, then you get a little bit of flat, and then you got a nice downhill, which leads into the first big hill. Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I'm doing with my GoPros, I'm trying to sync my Strava data to it. And I found out yesterday when I tried to do it, it didn't work. And it's because, well, I'm hoping this is the reason. I had the settings in Garmin set to smart record. And I read you can't synchronize the Strava data if it's on smart record with the video. You have to put a setting that, instead of smart record, it's recorded every second. So I made that change. So I'm hoping when I'm done with this walk today, I can sync up my Strava data to this walk. The other thing is, I didn't know how to turn to look at myself. But now I think I got that. I couldn't do it before because the GoPro's letting me spin the camera around, but when I spin it around, then it showed me upside down, which is not what I wanted. The other thing is, I bought this stick to walk with the GoPro. It said it was compatible with GoPros 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have a GoPro 7, so I was like, oh, I'm good to go. But once I read the fine print, once I got the product, the $80 product, it said there's only 2 cameras it's not compatible with. They're both GoPro Hero 7s, one silver, and I think the other one was gray or something. Well, that's what I have, GoPro 7 Hero Gray. So I can't control the GoPro camera with this stick. But that's not a big deal, because I can move the camera all around and I can give the camera voice commands, like when to start and stop. So I think I'm not limited, but definitely we had to take a look at upgrading from the GoPro 7. That's a couple $100-300, so maybe not. All right, we're one street up from my street, Wild Turkey. It's Park Street. I just started running again 3 or 4 months ago. I took a 5-year break, big mistake, but I'm back. But I run on Park a lot because I live in a hilly neighborhood, and Park was flat relatively. It goes downhill at first, but it flattens out. It's one of the few flat areas in the whole neighborhood, so I needed that when I started my training. Now I'm welcoming the hills because it's just increasing my fitness. Okay, off the street. I don't want to get ran over. It's funny, this street, it's pretty straightforward, wide, but the speed limit's only 25. I'd say probably 85% of the cars, 90% of the cars go or adhere to or respect the speed limit. But there's that 10%, they don't respect it. They're flying up and down here 40 miles an hour. And not to be totally hypocritical, I can't say I never did that, but I've certainly mellowed out. But I'd get off the road. Anytime I see a car, I get off the road, which is a lot easier when you're walking. It's easy to get off the road when you're walking. It's when you're running, I found I don't really like to get off the road into the grass. It's less stable, less stability. But I try to, because I don't want to get hit. I don't know, nobody wants to hit me anyways, but anyways, we're going down the hill. This is a pleasurable part, skipping on down the hill. And when we get to this bottom of this hill, we'll hit our first climb that gets my attention. I ran this whole road yesterday. I made it up to the top of this hill. I mean, if you saw me doing it, you would say that perhaps I wasn't jogging, but I was jogging. Just a very slow jog. Oh, it's so nice out here. It's September 8th, Stafford, Virginia. 0 humidity today. It's right about 70. The sun is right behind me, so I got to be careful. Yeah, because cars that are going to come at me are going to get blinded by that sun pretty soon. I got to make sure to get off the road. There are parts of this road in the morning and in the evening where you can't even see anything because of the sun's directly in your eyes. I end up going like 5 miles an hour for those patches. But yeah. Woo. Okay, the next street started at Wild Turkey. We moved on to Park. This is Mosby. It's one of the best lawns in the whole neighborhood. Very well done. Very well done. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. When you're walking on this street and you have to jump off the street because the car's coming, you really appreciate the people that keep their lawns mowed on their frontal of their property. Again, 80% do it, 80-90% do it, 10-20% don't do it. And you jump off the road and you're, for that 10% that don't mow their frontal property, it's like you're in the bush. And once again, not to be totally hypocritical, I've been guilty at times, but I'm much better now because I know that's the area that people need to walk. So I got to keep it mowed. But I'll show you what I mean when we get to one of those properties that isn't mowed. And we're on our first street intersection that's to the left of me. Previous ones were to the right. This is Windsor Road. Very nice. Ooh, in the shade. Kind of cool. All right. That is so nice. Okay, yeah, this lawn is, nobody comes out and mows this. It's not terrible, but it sure as heck isn't great. So you jump off and you're in the bush. There's worse. But this is an example of not, someone's not coming out here and mowing this. Unfortunately. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, we're starting a big long downhill now because we went up that climb. We're flat for a little bit. This is our 4th street, including Wild Turkey on the right. Wilderness. Yeah, it's the last street on the right. And we got a long downhill now. The problem with my running is I'm just getting to the point where I can run continuously, and see uphills that were giving me a problem. I'm starting to learn how to run them without stopping now. But I go slow on the uphills, way slow. And I'm not taking advantage of the downhills like I need to, but I got to get more fit. But as slow as I go on uphills, I need to be taking advantage of that gravity on the downhills, make up for my slow time going up with the faster time going down. But I'm not there yet. I hope I get there. I didn't mention I have a challenge with my neighbor to race this street. It was already supposed to happen, but I didn't know how bad I was on the hills. I ran a couple 5Ks that were flat, and I did all right. I was survived, let's say that. For a 6-year-old, out of shape, not fit. But I ran this street because I challenged him to it. He accepted, and I walked most of the hills. He said, all right, aren't we racing next weekend? And I was, no, we are racing, but give me till Thanksgiving. I need some more training time. So I'll never beat him, but he says he runs 9-minute miles, which I know doesn't sound that impressive, but I'll be lucky to do 11-minute miles on this road. That's what I'm shooting for. So he can beat me, I don't care. He ain't 60. He's probably early 40s. That's my guess. He's a stud, though. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. See, I think that should kind of be answered. But when I say big, I mean big like his reacher. There ain't no fat on that guy. He's a big dude full of muscle. And apparently he says he runs 9-minute miles. But again, I'm banking on that he's thinking about flat ground, not this stuff. Oh. All right, we got cars coming. Now this is a beautiful lawn that I'm on now. Nicely mowed. I wish it was all like this off the road. Yeah, these cars are being very respectful of the speed limit. Very nice. Everybody's coming home from work, which is funny because a lot of people that are going to work and coming home from work, they're the ones that speed a lot. See, either they're anxious to get home, I think I was like that, or they're anxious to get to work. Those cars were those vehicles were driving at awesome speed. All right, we got a little incline here. That leads us up to our last street intersection, going this way. This little baby hill, call this a slope. After this, though, is a second significant hill we have to climb. And it is significant. It's probably the longest hill. Probably not the steepest hill, but it is the longest. It is still steep. All right. Yeah, these cars are being respectful of the speed limit. Now there's a sign up here that flashes and tells you how fast you're going. So people usually are aware of that. Oh, this is Deer Run. Last street intersection before the end of our street. Oh. 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 Making our way to the bottom of this final hill that we got to climb. Oh, yeah. All right, I said there were going to be 4 climbs. There's actually five climbs, but we're not going to do the 5th climb thing. That's if we leave Wild Turkey and go left, but we left Wild Turkey and went right. But the race is going to go both ways, the whole length of Longwood. We're just doing part of Longwood from Wild Turkey towards 610. We're not doing Wild Turkey towards Rock Hill Church. There's a big climb on that portion that we're not going to do today. All right, we're in the throes of this hill. Again, walking, not a problem. Walking, not a problem. If I was hoofing this, oh, you'd be hearing a lot of breathing. More than you're hearing now. All right. All right, getting up that hill. Now, I can see the sun at times to be blinding these cars. He's in the shade right now, so he's good. Yeah. All right. When we turn around to go back home, we'll see the sun in our eyes. Still climbing. Another respectful car with regard to speed. All right, getting to the top of this false summit because it actually dips back down and goes a little bit up more. The up more is at the end of the street where we turn around. So so nice out here. Oh. All right, coming up towards the turnaround point, end of our street. All right, we turn around into the sun. I drink my... A lot of traffic out here. All right, now we're into the sun. Woo. Woo. I drink my whiskey neat, my coffee black, and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. All right, going home, on the way back. A little shade, yes. Oh, ah. Huh. All right. Okay. Going downhill for a bit here. This is a pretty old neighborhood. We moved here in 2007, so it's 18 years ago. There hadn't been any new construction on this street until this year. So we lived here 18 years, and what do you know? They put in a new house. There's a lot that I didn't know there was a lot there, and yeah, they started building this thing 3 or 4 months ago. Looks like it's done. They just paved the driveway. This is it right here. So yeah, brand new house. Can't hardly tell. It's pretty cool. Makes you wonder how many other lots are here between all these trees that you don't know about. Yeah. Ooh. sun's going down. Good. Not a problem. This is nicely mowed. I drink my whiskey. I drink my coffee black. Go to bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. All right. We're headed out. Wow. All right. Can't get a break from all these cars. Yeah. There's the radar sign. It's 25. This dude's doing 19. He's being very respectful. I wouldn't be too happy if I was behind him, because I'm not patient. I like 27, 28. If you go over 29, it says too fast, too fast. Of course, I know that. Sometimes I do. It's tough because it is a downhill. You have to almost be on your brakes for sure. This dude's going 28, 27, already slowing down a little bit. That's me, the way I drive. I'm not going 19. I'm probably going 27. But if there's people walking on the road, then I go down. I'll go down to nothing almost. I need to. I like it too, because if there's no speed, that means there's no cars coming. Kind of good intel. There's cars coming, which you can hear them if you don't have your earbuds in. No music for me today. Oh, sometimes I like no music. Today's one of them. I never bring my phone. Sometimes I come home, my daughter, neighbors like, hey, we've been trying to call you. I say, yeah, I'm on my walk, but I don't bring my phone on my walk. That's one of the points of the run or the walk. You can get away from it. Relax mentally. Not physically, but mentally. All right, so this is the third major climb. Again, I ran this the other day. I got 4 out of the first 4 climbs. I did not make the last one. I had to walk. My goal is probably 2 weeks from now is to get that 5th hill and finish the whole run, running continuously. Yeah, it'll feel good. It does not feel good doing it though, I must say. It feels like to me it feels like I'm at altitude at Mount Everest or something. The air is thin. The lungs are burning. Oh. Yeah. Ooh. All right, getting to the bottom of this climb before we have to climb it. All right. This is the steepest part coming up right here. Fortunately, it's not too long of a climb, steep climb. Wow. So far, all the cars of today have been very respectful of the speed limit. Very nice. This lawn here is nicely mowed. Should I have to duck off the street because of an oncoming vehicle? Ooh. All right. Oh, a lot of traffic out here. And we do need to duck off the road now. Yeah. Holy smokes. Yeah, so hoping today to be able to sync my Strava data with this video. That'd be cool. I watch so many good YouTube channels about people videoing their running. So one of them is called Marm, Middle-Aged Running Man. He always says, "Good morning to all in the Marmy Army." He's so awesome. He's a fast dude. He runs with a stick like I'm carrying. That's why I bought this, watching him do it. And I was always thinking like, wow, that must slow him down carrying that thing around. But actually, well, as slow as I run, it doesn't slow me down. But it's not very obtrusive. It's not that hard to carry this thing around and run with it. Another one that I really enjoy is called Crown My Run, and it's these three, again, Marm, Middle-Aged Running Man, he's in UK, so is Crown My Run. They're in UK as well. And it's these three young brothers. I think they're all in, mid and early 20s. Maybe the youngest is 19, 20. The middle-aged brother, the man in the middle, the brother in the middle, he's the one that does all the voiceover and the editing of the videos, and they're just hilarious. Oh, they're so funny. But they don't carry a stick like I am, like Marm does. They have video cameras strapped to their caps. Thinking about getting one of those as well. So they just run, they really can't turn the camera around and look at themselves, but they get a great view of what's in front of them, and they're always racing. They're so fast. I mean, they run 5Ks in less than 18 minutes. And the middle brother, he ran a marathon sub 3 hours, which is incredible. D Mills, that's his name. D Mills. His older brother's J Mills. I think I might have those reversed. And then the other younger brother's W Mills. So that's how they refer to themselves. Crown My Run. Hilarious. And I really started watching them because when I was starting to watch them, because I had just started running, and so I was looking for running tips and stuff, and I discovered a thing called Park Run, which is what a lot of what they're doing. Marm and Crown My Run, they go to park runs, which are 5K events. Although both the Crown My Run and Marm, they do a lot more than that. They do half marathons, 10Ks. But the park run is absolutely free. You get a time. They track your personal best. they track your, you know, how you did against everybody else during that run. They age grade you. So like, you know, for your age and your gender, here's what percentile you're in. So it's really nice. Your data. There's data about you and your running. And anyways, park run. I looked for it in the United States, and yeah, there's some park runs. I think the closest park run to where I live in Stafford, Virginia was in Roosevelt Island, Washington, D.C. And I went to it 3 times. I didn't go last week, but the previous 3 weeks I went, and I ran 5Ks for the first time. Probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, maybe 5 years. Whew, and I did it. I ran the whole thing. I enjoyed the heck out of it too. Nice setup. You get your time emailed to you later. So I encourage you to look up parkrun on Google, parkrun.com. You get yourself a barcode, you download it, print it out, or have it on your phone or your watch, whatever, and you just show your barcode to the finish line person. Actually, when you cross the finish line, they give you a token saying what place you're in with the barcode. So I was like in 100th place. My token said 100th. And they scan that, they scan your own barcode, and that's how they keep track of your how you did. And I found a widget, a Garmin widget, so I had the barcode on my watch, which is very convenient. Man, the sun is bad here. This lawn is nicely mowed. Whew, it is bad driving here, going the way I'm walking. Could be worse though. So anyways, park run. I'm trying to establish a park run here in Stafford County. I contacted park run. They have a whole protocol process for establishing a park run. So I had a phone conference with the North America guy, the overseas Canada and USA, and gave me all the things I need to accomplish. I went to Stafford County Parks and Recreation Commissioners meeting last month. They meet once a month. I presented it as something we should have in Stafford. The commissioners were enthusiastic about it and turned me over to the director of Parks and Recreation, who I've been working with. And you know, they're kind of being patient and deliberate. They don't want to overcommit. But basically, I need a venue where we can hold these runs every Saturday morning, 09. And they're leery for that. But I have 3 locations that will work for 5Ks. And you have to be careful about selecting your route. You can't cross any roads. You can't obstruct traffic. You cannot obstruct traffic. And you have to conduct your park runs on a not to interfere basis with everything else that's going on in the park. So my 3 venues are Willowmere Park, which is nice for convenience because it's only about 3 miles from my house. But it's probably the most boring course. It's 3 laps around these big grass fields. But it's a good 5K course. My oldest daughter ran there in cross country in high school. I don't know, 15 years ago. That's Willowmere Park. Then they have Curtis Memorial Park, which more woodsy trails, being out and back, not 3 loops. I like it. I like it a lot. It'd be a much slower time. But Director of Parks is kind of leery about using those locations because they do a lot of sporting events at those locations. Soccer, baseball, etc. And then they asked me to check out a third site, Pratt Park, which will work great as well. They have a paved trail. It's called Ferry Farm. Ferry Farm is, by the way, the childhood home of George Washington. So near the Ferry Farm estate is the Ferry Farm Trail, paved, and you can do an out and back 5K course. And there are many 5K events that are hosted there. So that would be also, that's the farthest way from my house. So for personal convenience, it's not as much desired by me, but it's, if I go to Roosevelt Island, which I have done 3 of the last 4 weeks, that's over an hour away. And parking, while there is a bunch of parking there, it goes fast, because so DC, that area is a fitness craze, and you get out there, I leave at 6 in the morning, I get there by 7ish. I'm getting some of the last spots in the parking lot. Parking's free, and there's no time limit, so it's kind of nice. And you walk over to the park run on Theodore Roosevelt Island, and that course is nice. Oh, I love it. I'll go back as soon as I can. I didn't go last week because I take my daughter to work in the morning, and she's working again this Saturday. I told her, work in the afternoons on Saturdays so I can go on my runs, which she'll do in October, she says. Back out there. Well, we're almost back home. Almost back to Wild Turkey. Now the Olive Longwood is still another half a mile past Wild Turkey and back, so it would be a mile if we went all the way, but I'm not going today. I don't need to. I do try to get 10,000 steps a day, and I need to do this to get my 10,000. But yeah, you go down to the bottom of this hill. I call this a slope though, but if you're running it from the bottom, it's a hill. And then when you get to the bottom of this hill, is a mean hill that I was unable to do without walking last week. So it's my nemesis right now. I have to have enough in the tank when I get to the bottom of this to climb that last hill, which I know I will. A lot of it's mental. It's so nice and quiet out here. All right, this is Wild Turkey. That's where I live, on Wild Turkey Drive. There's my barn there. RV, my friend's RV. We used to have horses way back when we first moved in here in 2007. Had them for about 10 years. But my daughter, who was into horses, she left us, got old, went to college, got married, had my grandkids. Horses went away. We still got the horse property though. So all this street, Wild Turkey. This is my barn, and then down a little ways further is my house. Yeah. So that was fun. A little walk, a little practice using the GoPro. We're gonna see if we can sync it up with the Garmin Strava. I mean, see if Strava will sync up with our GoPro video. I hope it does. Nice. Oh, yeah. All right. My neighbors, my awesome neighbors. All my neighbors are awesome, but they're the most awesome. Jim and Lee. Yeah. Getting back home. Home sweet home. Yay. All right. I'm going to stop recording.